Welcome to the Art Lady channel. Today I'm going to show you how I made this mitten collage with my students. And I'm just going to go over very quickly how we do the process. And it's mainly for teachers to watch so that they know how to teach the lesson. The little characters I did not glue down, that way we can move them in and out of the mitten and the children can retell the story to their families when they get home. To create this mitten collage, it's very easy. We're going to be using torn paper and cut paper. For the lesson, what I give each kid is I give them a 12 by 18 sheet of background paper that's in white. Then I give them a 9 by 12 sheet of construction paper that's in the color of their shadows for their snow. And they can share the snow shadow colors with their neighbors. I give them a choice of light blue, dark blue, teals, and they can even use this is just silver paper here, little shiny silver paper. So they can choose, but they need one main color, and then they can use the leftovers of their friends. They're also going to need a half sheet of the 9 by 12 in a gray, or a color that you want to use for your trees. So these will be the tree trunks that are going to be in the background. I'm going to use gray. They can use brown, black silhouettes. And then we're going to need a half sheet of that, which is a quarter of the piece of construction paper. And it's about, approximately a 4.5 by 6.5 sheet of paper. So just a quarter of that for some winter trees that we're going to cut out. We're just going to cut out some evergreen trees in the background. They can cut out 3 trees of that. I'll first start off by showing you how to cut the evergreens. What we do is we just cut some triangles, and I'm just going to come diagonally to the middle and flip it over and go diagonally to the middle. And so I have a few triangles here. And again, they can share with their neighbors if they want to have different values. You can even cut some smaller. Here's some real small ones. But I like the different values. So we're going to use some small triangles and some large triangles for the evergreen trees. And then what you're going to do with your gray is just simply cut thick strips, a few thick, and a few tapered, going from thick to thin. Those can be for branches. And then a few really skinny ones for more branches, like so. Real skinny. Now for the snow and snow shadows, what we're going to do is just simply tear this. And I tell the kids to hold it vertically. And we're doing horizontal tears, like so. You can tear it a few times. You want to have it, I'm going to make this one a little hill. And we're going to put it coming across the page as the shadows in the snowdrift. And I tell the students halfway, so we start organizing this from the halfway point, find your middle. So anything lower than halfway is where I'm going to put my tears of paper. You want to make sure that when you place your mitten down, that you have some coming around the mitten, and you can combine that with your silver paper. You want more of a little shadow. Silver or gray. This can be even foil. You can put here. Now we're going to start the collage gluing process. So I'm going to just move my mitten for now, and I'm going to do all my background. I'm only gluing in the very middle of these snow lines. Flip it over. Find my halfway point right here. So I'm keeping all this free, and then I'm gluing my snow hills or my snow drifts. Just glue in the center of each piece. I'm going to put some of my silver here. The mitten's going to cover it, so I'm just going to come on the edge. I did want a little one right here. I'm going to put one in the middle. Again, glue it just in the very middle. Place this down. this down. Now I'm going to glue my trees. I'll put a little silver right there. Now your trees, arrange them the way you want. I tuck them in underneath. That's why we didn't go gluing right to the edge. I'll put a few here. And if you tell the kids to plan first, like so, before you start gluing everything, and that looks good. So I'm just going to flip it over. And the background's just very simple. Now I'm going to go ahead and form my deciduous trees. That glue, draw a line that is diagonal. Place my branch, and I'll put a few of these on. I'm going to put a thicker tree here. And I'll put another one over here. I just draw the line. And they go off the page. You can see how they're going off the page. We'll trim that after. And I'll put another one that's a little bit angled, because sometimes the trees don't grow perfectly straight. So there's our background, our wintry background. Now we're going to glue down the mitten. And I'm only placing glue at the very edges. I can glue on here. And then I do not want to glue anything here, because that's where the animals are going to come in and out. But the place where your hand actually touches can be glued. That's what I tell my students. The opening of the mitten can be glued. And I take the glue and I just push it to the outer edge. So it's very little. A small amount of glue. If you come down, then it's going to glue and you won't be able to push the animals in. So just on the edges is real important. Then I'm going to place my mitten down. And then you want this to dry before you put your animals in. You could even put a little piece of paper towel or another piece of scrap paper here to keep this up. And I'm just gluing my edges down. Now, while this is drying, I have my students color and decorate the animals that are going to go in it. And it's up to you how you want them to decorate it. Markers work well if you have a variety of grays and browns, or you can use crayons. Either one look fine. And then the animals simply go in and out of the mitten. And you can tuck in all the animals. The kids could also put some animals on the outside, but I like leaving them interactive where they can take them in and out. And then they can tell the story. They can do sequencing. You can do, your favorite animals. There's a lot of things you can do with this picture display. But then they can retell the story to their family and try and remember the order that the animals came in. And of course, the last little one was the mouse. So I hope you enjoy this with your students. And here's the finished mitten lesson with all the little animals. And the animals can be tucked in. They can come in and out, like so. And they all fit inside. And then you can use this for retelling the story.